Hello, 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 hello. Are you out there? Is anyone out there? It was working nice, now it isn't. I don't know what I've done. I did. New stream. 1, 2, hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. I think I'm live, I think I'm live, I think I'm live, I think I'm live. Hello. I am live. I believe I am live. And I believe we are go. We are all systems go. Can you hear me? Is anyone out there? Can you hear me? Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think we're live. Yes. So. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're well out there, everyone. Had a bit of a nightmare there. I had everything set up, and then as soon as I clicked live, the whole thing fell over and crashed, and nothing happened. So I think I'm here, and I think I am live to YouTube at the moment. Not quite as I expected it to be at 5 o'clock. So yes, right, welcome along, welcome along. Who am I? Who am I? Why am I here? And what is my name? And so basically, my name is DiscoCookeesCFC. And who am I? Who am I, you may ask? Because there's 1,000,001 streams on YouTube that talk about the amazing football club Chelsea FC, founded in 1905. And still in the same home in Southwest 6 since the beginning. And of course, it's wonderful to have you. It's wonderful to have you here with me as I start my first stream on YouTube to talk about Chelsea. And of course, it's been quite an interesting season so far. And we're currently 9th, right? So it isn't looking too good for us right now. But we've had a bit of upheaval this year. And I'm just going to put that in the middle because it was all in the middle. And then it told me it had the wrong rate. And then it suddenly crashed everything. So anyway, I'm here. I hope you're well. And I'm going to give you a little bit of insight. Firstly, into me and why I support the Chelsea. And then secondly, into the game this weekend coming up. It's currently the 10th of Feb 2023. And we are due to play West Ham United at the London Stadium tomorrow on Saturday the 11th at 12:30 kickoff. I may well do a watch along just to see if I can do it, see what happens. But of course, I'm here for you and you and you and you and you and you and you. You may be watching this on playback. And of course, this is all slightly new technology for me. And who am I? Who am I? I'm a DJ by hobby, but I am very passionate about this team called Chelsea FC. I've been going since the mid-80s when I was lucky enough to be taken along by my dad, who had been going since the late 60s, early 70s himself. Much against the wishes of my mum, I must say. Most of our family were from the Essex area, so there was a big West Ham Chelsea split in our family. But my dad made sure that me and my brother and my sister, who were both younger than me, went to Chelsea, and we all support the Chelsea. We still do. And I must say, my mum supports Chelsea too, but her family were West Ham side. Anyway, I digress. So I've seen quite a lot since the mid-80s, obviously, as a kid. I remember when I first started to go, there was a real worry that Stamford Bridge would be sold off by the Mears Group. and that Chelsea wouldn't have a home. So Ken Bates basically bought Chelsea for £1 back then, and he was trying to fundraise basically from the fans a fund called Save the Bridge. And I remember being a youngster, and I remember basically trying my best, my very, very best, to get people to help us raise money for Chelsea to keep the bridge going. And of course, obviously, you know, everyone was successful, right? Because we're still here. I don't know what I just did there, but I didn't want to do that. Anyway. So, who are we? We are the famous Chelsea. It's one of our songs. And, yeah. I'm doing this podcast. I've been a radio DJ for the last 25 years, predominantly mixing club music, house music. Started off mixing drum and bass with my mates as a teenager, and I've been quite successful running a radio station called the Back to Life Sessions. Big love to all of the Back to Life Sessions crew. You know who you are. And if you want to find Back to Life Sessions, just Google it. Back to Life, as in the number 2, Life Sessions on Mixler. We've had well over 500,000 hits in the last 10 years. 16 DJs, all amazing people, amazing crowd in that chat room. But I've decided to start this and do this all on me jacks to try and talk about my other passion in life, which is football and obviously Chelsea. A little bit about me is I've got 3 kids. The eldest is 21. The youngest is my boy Fabio, and he is 13. Zola, my other daughter, Zola. I managed to get one of my kids named after our legend, Gianfranco Zola. She's 15 now, and yeah, she doesn't come to the Chelsea with me yet, but Fabio does. His favourite player is Mason Mount, and of course, I really don't blame him for that. So yeah, my other nickname is the CurlyCFCCommander, which was a name that they gave me on the radio channel. And some of these pictures you can see flying around in the background are all pictures from where I reside at Stamford Bridge. Some of them from the seat that my brother and dad, we all go along every single home game since the mid-80s, right? Started off on the shed, then we moved to the shed, the temporary stand that was there while they were building it. We also was in the East Stand lower for a while, and then season tickets in the Matthew Harding lower. I did have one in the upstairs Matthew Harding upper with some lads I know from Chelsea. Big love to all you guys, to Adrian, to Dave, to Ross, all the Tim, all the boys. But ultimately we are Matthew Harding lower now, and been going quite a number of years, and yeah, still going every week, still going strong, right? So yeah, that's a little bit about me as a little background, and that's why they call me the CurlyCFCCommander. I've got a few of those up there, alright? So, yeah, welcome along. That was my little 5-minute intro. And, yeah, I'm here to talk about the current Chelsea team. I was kind of inspired to do this, right? Because I sort of quitted my radio show at the back end of last year. I did over 200 shows. Most of them were every Friday night. And Feel Good Friday. But now I've decided to talk about Chelsea, because there's a lot of vlogs out there on YouTube, and I've been watching quite a few of them actually down the years, and I've never really felt like they were really representing me as a fan, right? They've all got their views, and a lot of them are, everyone's got a view about football. Football is a sport that raises an opinion. Everyone's got an opinion about their team, about a player, about the other team, about the ref. And of course, football is all about opinion. And I'm not denying that, right? But what I am saying is that I'm going to tell you a little bit about my opinion, my view. I'm going to bring a few of my mates along to this podcast once I've got it all set up, working properly. I've had a few new bits of kit. I'm probably not going to have this background for much longer. Probably quite white as well at the moment. I'm not that white in real life, I promise you. But I've got some lights here and stuff. I'm trying out a few things. And I did some test streams recently, and yeah, they worked. But of course, I just want to make sure that everything works correctly before I start getting, loads and loads of viewers along. Because I want to be bringing you some content, a little bit of fun as well. I also want to make sure that it's a little bit different to all the normal vlogs that take place out there. And I was actually inspired to do this by a geezer called Johnny Minerals. And he's a guy out there that has been doing a vlog, I think, since last year. And he's the only one I've really sort of resonated with, if I'm honest with you. Because he's back in the team. He's back in his beloved club, a bit like me, right? And there's a lot of hate out there for some of our players, and there's a lot of agendas, in my opinion, anyway. And, of course, I want to make sure that on this one there's no agendas. I'm not in it to get paid. I'm not in it for any sort of reward or anything. I'm just here to basically talk to you about what I believe, and also share with you a few little pearls of wisdom that we learned down the years. And of course, I hear a lot of things when I'm in these seats down here. I hear a lot of things, a lot of grumbles in the crowd. We kind of know the popular players from the unpopular players, although generally people support Chelsea when they go to the games, right? But there's some things down the years that have not been so good. And yeah, there's some songs. I think we should have a few more songs in certain cases, if I'm honest with you. I do believe that maybe as this podcast progresses, we might be able to implement some new songs on the terraces. That'd be fun, wouldn't it, eh? Because, of course, some of the songs out there player-based, and then the player leaves. And then, of course, I don't really see that, of course, these things turn over. This is a football club at the end of the day. So, yeah. Anyway, so we're playing West Ham this week. We had a bit of a dodgy result against Fulham last week, and of course, we need to get back on the winning formula. We need to ensure that we win. We are currently in 9th place, which is probably not good enough. And yeah, of course, Graham Potter is the boss, and he's trying to implement a certain style, and it's not looking like the players are really going for that at the moment anyway. And yeah, it's a little bit confusing as to why we can't score goals, why we don't seem to have any patterns of play. But of course, we're playing West Ham this week, and we've not had much luck there in the last 5 or 6 visits, if I'm honest. I think we might have won 1 or 2, maybe the odd 1-0. I remember one there. And of course, yeah, we need to make sure we get back to winning ways this week. We've had a couple of 0-0s in a row. We've also got a very important game in the Champions League coming up against Dortmund, away, first leg. And don't forget, you need to like and subscribe. So like and subscribe if you like what I'm doing. And yeah, I hope I can do this more often, and that obviously, yeah, we can start to build a bit of a community here, right? Because at the end of the day, we all love the boys in blue from Southwest 6, right? Let's have it right. And yeah, we need to start turning this team, this great team that's been through a lot of turmoil in the last 9-10 months since the sanctions were issued on us due to the Roman Abramovich situation, which obviously, really affected us as fans. There was weeks, days when we didn't even know if we'd have a club this year. And yeah, I was personally very worried about that, if I'm honest with you. And then, of course, this American consortium's come along, led by Todd Bowley, the Clear Lake consortium, who have shares in the LA Dodgers and the LA Lakers. They're American franchises for baseball and basketball. I also have quite a keen interest on American sport as well, if I'm honest with you. I've been out to see a number of American sports down the years, including the NFL too. And I may well include some of that into some future podcasts. But of course, I'm here predominantly to talk about Chelsea. This blog is called Under the Blue Flag because we sit under this blue flag here. I'll bring that out the way so you can see it a bit more. Obviously, we are the mighty Chelsea, and we're often under that blue flag. So that's the name of my podcast. Last season, when we had Thomas Tuchel, was quite a good season. Well, I say quite a good season. We finished top 4, finished 3rd. Even though we had some issues with the sanctions, I think Thomas Tuchel got us through that superbly, if I'm honest with you. I think he really did get us through that. He really did. Because, there were certain times of the situation when we thought we were, gone and buried, right? And he got us to 2 cup finals. Amazing that he did that. Absolutely phenomenal. I went to both of those cup finals, to be honest, both against Liverpool, and both went to penalties, and both not the result that we wanted, right? Unfortunately, these things happen sometimes. But of course, hoping that this year we're out of those cups so we can have a bit of a better run in the league. We need to improve our position in the league. We're currently sitting 9th, and of course that is not good enough for a team of Chelsea's stature, not stamina. They need a bit of stamina, let me tell you. And of course, apart from a few good performances this year, notably the Tottenham home game, the AC Milan game in the San Siro, we haven't really played that well this season, right? As a team, as a unit, we've not gelled. We've had a lot of injuries. Of course, we've had a lot of injuries. We've had Kante out since pretty much the 2nd, 3rd game of the season. We're 20 games in, 21 games in now. And that's a huge miss for us, someone like that of his stature. He's a World Cup winner, right? And we need him there as our number 6. He runs more than any other player on that pitch, and he breaks up play and gets the ball back for us, which is what we really need. And it's currently felt since Potter's come in that we haven't really had a press. Our press doesn't work anymore like it used to. And I know, he's playing this 4-4-2 or this 4-3-3, not really playing 4-4-2 ever. I wish he did sometimes. So he's playing like this hybrid 4-3-3 or this 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to call it. And I really think we're missing those that wing back. Reece James, we've missed him for most of the season. Also Chilwell too. And I really feel like now they're back, we can start to put a run of games together with these boys and hopefully start to climb up the league. And of course, go far in the Champions League. That might be our only hope of staying in it for next season, is to win the bloody thing again, like we did in 2012 when we had a really crap season. And everyone wrote us off, and then we went out and won it against Bayern Munich in their own backyard, right? Amazing performance and team back then. A team that was full of injuries then, right? JT didn't even play the final. And we had a bit of a makeshift defence that game, and we still came out the winners, right? So that's Chelsea. We are the pride of London. We see things that they'll never see up north, some of them anyway. City have never won the Champions League, and they've got pumped all this money into their project, and they still ain't won it. They've got the best manager in the world. They still ain't won it. He might win league after league at the moment. But of course, this week they've had some sanctions issued on him as well, right? So, of course, who knows what's going to happen, whether they'll take those titles away or anything. Who knows? I mean, they certainly tried to throw the book at us before, and we had a transfer ban when Lamps was around, and, you know, he promoted all these youth players into the team. And, yeah, look at him now, right? He brought Reece James through, and he brought Mount through, and he brought, you know, the young boys through at the time. So, yeah, look, I digress. We got West Ham. At their ground, and of course it's not going to be easy. They're right up for it at the moment. They're, you know, right down the bottom as well, much further down than we are, and they need to win, right? But it looks like we got João Felix back. I don't really agree with a loan player for that much money, but I guess we maybe needed him. We maybe need a new solution up front. We've not really scored enough goals this season, and so of course João Felix is in. He had a decent first half against Fulham in his first match, but again, you know, it couldn't really hit. Well, he hit the target, but he couldn't find the back of the net, right? You're only as good as the goals that you're scoring, right? And then, of course, we brought in Mudryk in the window and Enzo Fernandez in the window, the most expensive player in Chelsea history. And, of course, Madueke's come in as well, and also Badiashile. He looks like a bit of a Rolls-Royce defender already, a young defender. But his height is really tall. He's about 6'3", I think. And, you know, when you're at the matches, you really see that up close, because he's definitely a bit of a unit, that fella. And, yeah, of course, you know, it's not been the best season with Potter in charge since they sacked Tommy Tuchel. Don't know why he did it, Bowley, but I guess he had his reasons. There is some rumours out there as to why that happened. I'm not really playing along with those, if I'm honest with you. You know, you could see how shocked he was when he got the old heave-ho. He's pretty shocked. So at the end of the day, we've got what we've got, right? Potter's not going to turn that job down. You know, was it £1 million a month for 6 years or 5 years? You know, even if they sack him, he's going to get a guaranteed payout. So I know it's really difficult to watch at times as a Chelsea fan, and we're getting frustrated, and, you know, we want to win every game 2-3-0, right? That's our way, right? That's in our DNA. We don't like to draw or lose, you know what I mean? And we definitely like to score goals. And so, yeah, it's been a really tough season, I have to admit, standing there, cheering the boys on, you know. But we're doing it. We're trying to do our best. We're trying to do the best by them. And, yeah, hopefully now we're starting to get some of these players back. You know, we can start to build on that anyway, because, let's face it, it can't be much worse than it has been lately. I think we've had like 1 or 2 wins in the last 10, and that's not good enough for Chelsea Football Club, if I'm honest with you. Nowhere near good enough. But, you know, a couple of wins and you're back up there, right? I mean, Newcastle are 4th. They've got 40 points, but they've had a brilliant defence this season, Newcastle. I think the best defence in the league, in the Premier League at the moment. Chelsea down in 9th, but we're only 10 points behind, right? And a 10-point swing, it's not impossible in this league. Because everyone can beat everyone, right? As you saw last week when Everton beat Arsenal. Bottom beat top, right? That's the beauty of our fantastic league. And of course, there was rumours this week about the Super League coming back, which is basically, if you don't know, it's a consortium formed between Barcelona, Madrid and Juventus, who they're all skint, right? Well, they're not skint, but they're not getting as much money as the Premier League is through TV revenue and other revenue, right? And of course they want a piece of the action. They can't get that week on week. You know, they're playing teams that are really low down in their league, and they're not getting that sort of revenue like we get. The Premier League is a global brand, and it's paid for by most TV stations around the world, right? And long may that continue, in my opinion. And so, yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I think we've got some injuries this week. Well, we've had injuries every bloody week, if I'm honest with you. I I think Fofana's still out. I think Zakaria is still out. I think Cover could be out. Not sure about him, if I'm honest with you. Although I did see Potter's interview earlier. Sterling, I think, could be out too. But of course, you know, these things tend to change at the last minute. And yeah, I think we've beat West Ham at home for the last couple of years, but away we've not been so good at beating them. And yeah, so we really need to take this form. We've not been great on the road this year either. Usually we're pretty good on the road. Well, definitely under Tuchel we were good on the road anyway. I think we've gone 7 games now without a win, which is in all competitions, which is the first time in 12 years. That is not good. Not good at all. And we've only got 9 goals in 11 away fixtures this season. Again, not good enough for Chelsea, right? We've got to be better than that. We've got to be more consistent. And we've got to take some shots from outside the box, in my opinion, right? We used to be so good at, you know, the odd strike from outside the box going in. You know, I'd rather they take 5 or 6 and, you know, miss 4 or 5, because one might go in, right? It's better than this tick-attacker trying to get the ball all the way to the goal line before you tap it in. I mean, we're not that team. We've struggled with a number 9 since Costa left, if I'm honest with you. And yeah, there's a lot of youngsters come in. Some of them might be some of these might solve the problem, but ultimately it's too early to tell, right? You know, they haven't got the experience of the Premier League. And of course, you know, things change. So yeah, if you can like and subscribe to my channel for future shows. Like I said, I might do a watch along. I don't think anyone's out there at the moment. But of course, lovely to see you if you are watching this on a playback. And yeah, there's going to be plenty more from me coming over the next couple of months, weeks. I had this nice little scroll thing going across the screen. It's now too small. I don't know what happened there. It was when it all crashed. Can't seem to make that any bigger at the moment, so I'm going to mess around with that for the next show, to be honest. It basically says that, you know, like and subscribe Under the Blue Flag podcast. I am at DiscoCookeesCFC. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram too. There's a little link down in the description here. And yeah, 3 points. We have to get 3 points tomorrow. We really do have to nail that. 12:30 kickoff, London Stadium. We definitely need 3 bloody points, Chelsea. Come on. Some other little facts I read earlier was that basically, yeah, we've used the most outfield players in the Premier League this season, which again is bonkers because you're never keeping a consistent team, in my opinion. And why would you do that? Don't make sense. And yeah, Graham Potter's made 64 changes, which is the most since Tuchel made that many changes, right? And he'll probably make a few more tomorrow, I imagine. He'll probably drop a couple of the players who they're saying are not performing so well. Unfortunately, Havertz gets the brunt end of it on Twitter, and so does Mason Mount. Again, I think there's an agenda there. He's got to sign his new contract, and yeah, I think Graham Potter was asked a question today about Todd Bowley and Cucurella, and again, I think looks like Cucurella's got some personal problems. So again, why has he been starting Cucurella? But now Chile's back. Hopefully Chile will get the start tomorrow. And also Reece James too. Even if he can only play an hour like he did last Friday, it's another hour on his road back to recovery, right? We don't want to risk him. We can't get him injured again. We need him for this Champions League push. And we need to start scoring goals. And this is typical Chelsea, right? You know, we have a bit of a dodgy run, and now we can go and maybe link 4, 5, 6 wins together. Who knows? Fingers crossed. We need that. We need to get that. And yeah, hopefully we can do it, okay? So yeah, been lovely to chat a bit about the game. And there'll be much more coming from me in future weeks. I may even do a watch along tomorrow. And yeah, it's been lovely to have your company. If you're watching it on the watch back, leave me a little message in the messages section, and I'd be happy to answer any questions related to my view, what I think, how I believe that this club can move forward to more successful times like we've known in the past, right? And that's all we want, success. Everyone just wants the trophy above their head. That's all they really want. Yeah. So yeah, big up all my Chelsea boys. Big up all the blue boys from Southwest 6. Big up all you boys that stand on those terraces every single week. Go into the game tomorrow. Have a good one. Be safe. It's West Ham. It's likely to get a bit lively, let's face it. And yeah, obviously, yeah, up the Chelsea. Let's have it, right? Up the freaking Chelsea, right? Come on, boys. Let's turn it on for you tomorrow. Let's turn it on. Let's turn that one on tomorrow. So yeah, my prediction. Yeah, I was going to leave a bit of a prediction, right? So I'm going to try and do this as a weekly thing now before each game. So we've got Dortmund in the week, but my prediction tomorrow, I think it's going to be tight again. I don't think it'll be another 0-0. I hope it's not anyway. I think we might lose the first goal, but I'm hoping we don't. So yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be either 2-1 to Chelsea or 3-2 to Chelsea. I'm thinking it could be a bit of a humdinger if an early goal goes in. And yeah, I'm hoping we win by the odd goal. Really am. I mean, I'd love it to go there and smack them 4-0, don't get me wrong. But realistically, if you look at the form of the last 3 or 4 games, right, we're not creating enough chances. Unless he literally can get something new on the training pitch this week. Now that Felix is there and Felix is back, and maybe play him as the number 9 to start with, I don't know. And of course we got Enzo Fernandez. Again, you know, this is going to be his second match. We need to find him a partner that can really dig in with him there, let him go, or let the other one go. Gallagher did an alright job on Friday, but yeah, he's he's one of our own. He's from Cobham. I want the boy to stay. I don't want him to go anywhere. You know, I don't think we should sell our youth. I don't think we should sell our Cobham boys. They're going to be the spine of the team that we need moving forward. You know, you bring back Levi Colwell. That's who we need. We should never let him go to Brighton on loan anyway. I don't know what happened there. It must have been a Tuchel decision or a club decision. And maybe they were already talking to bloody Potter at that point. We just don't know, do we? And they sold Billy Gilmore. I mean, what was that about? Anyway, I digress. So yeah, I'm thinking 2-1 Chelsea. That's my prediction. I'd like Felix to score. I'd like Mudryk to score on his it's not his debuts, obviously, but I'd like him to score. And yeah, I'm just hoping that we can just get that 3 points to start climbing that table, right? Because I reckon we could easily finish 4th or 5th if we put a little run together. Because we've still got to play some of those teams above us, right? And the league is a long way to go yet. There's 38 games and we've only played 21, so we're just over halfway. 17 games to go. Plenty of home games left, and yeah, we can do it, boys. We can do it. We can definitely win that Champions League as well. And yeah, up the Chelsea. I'll see you later. Have a good one. All right. Take care, one and all. I'm going to try and see if this works.
hate Tottenham, Chelsea! We hate Tottenham, Chelsea! We hate Tottenham, Chelsea!